Morning everyone. Today we are going to see the topic embedded programming. This is the syllabus for embedded programming unit. Here we are dealing with components for embedded programs, models of programs, and assembly, linking, loading, and compilation techniques, and program level performance. These are all the syllabus we are going to see in the unit of embedded programming. So today we are going to discuss components for embedded program and models of programs. So what are all the components used for embedded program instance? Here we are considering three embedded softwares. One is the state machine. In embedded softwares, we are using three kind of components for the embedded programming. First one is the state machine, and second one is the circular buffer, and third one is the queue. First, we are going to discuss about the state machine. Here, for state machines, the inputs are coming in irregular manner. So we are go with the reactive system. Here, the state machines are act as a reactive system. The output of the state machine will be depends upon the present inputs as well as the current state of the system. So this is also called as a finite state machine. It's a reactive system. It has the reactive system behavior. So we see the example. Here the seat belt system is given as the state machine example. Here three sensors act as an input. One is whether the person is seated or not, and the second sensor deals with the whether the person belted, fastened or not belted, not wear the seat belt. So next one will be the timer. These three are the input for the state machine, and the output will be the buzzer. If initially the seat belt will be in an ideal condition, so there is no person is seated. Next one will be here whether the person is seated or not. First the sensor will sense whether the person is coming and seated or not. If seated, whether they are wear the belt or not. If suppose they are not belted, then the timer will be on for a particular time interval, then the buzzer will be on. So it indicates to wear a seat belt. So if suppose the second condition, the person is came and seated, after that they immediately wear the seat belt, then the buzzer will be in an off state. So this is what the state machine will be at, whether depends upon the input. The person is here came seated or unbelted. That's what the current status of the system. So the state machine will be depends upon the current status as well as the inputs coming. Next, we move on to the circular buffer. Here the buffer is acting as a storage element, and here we are giving a stream of data. So particular amount of data will be given to the circular buffer. So the size of the buffer is fixed one. So the data stream makes sense for the data that comes in regularly and processed on the fly. That means the once the data is once the data is buffered, immediately they processed, and then the data will be flied off. That means the data is not longer stored in the circular buffer. So we must not only emit outputs in the real time, but we must also do so using a minimum amount of memory. So that is the buffer is it's a fixed size. So the circular buffer is a data structure managed handle the streaming of a data in an efficient way. So the algorithm needs subset of the data stream. Here we are considering the windows for storing the data. So for at first time interval, we are storing some kind of data stream. So next next time interval, we are using some other data. So the first set of data will be processed and then deleted, or it may be played out. So the next time interval, the next set of data will be stored in the circular buffer. So it's also called as a fixed size of buffer. So here we are in circular buffer. Here we are some set of stream of data will be stored in the windows. For first time interval, we are considering the first 4 data elements. Here the pointer will be deciding the data size. So first time interval, we are processing 1 to 4 data. So next time interval, we don't want to use 1. So we are replacing 1 by 5. Next, we go with the queue. Queue is used for signal processing as well as event processing. Queues are also used as an elastic buffer. That means here we are using first front and rear pointers. So in queues, we are using first in, first out conditions. So based on that, here linked lists are used. So front and rear pointers are to be indicating the whether data is stored in which location. So here the data are arrived and depart at somewhat unpredictable times, or when the variables amount of data may arrive. That's it. Another way to design the queue is to use an array to hold all the data. So array of data should be used. Here the front and rear pointers are indicating the location of the data, whether we are inserting or deleting. Here in second window, we are inserting the B. So the rear pointer is moved next to the data. So next window, we are again inserting the C data value. So the rear pointer is moving +1 location. So next one, we are deleting. That means first in, first out condition here using. So A is deleted. So automatically the front pointer is moved to B. So next here we are inserting D. So the rear is moving. This is what we are using queue. Next, we go with the model of programs. Model of program is different from the source code, because model of program is it's a flow diagram. What are all the things we are using? So for the analysis purpose, we are going to use this kind of model. The program is modeled like a data flow diagram. So different type of source codes, that is assembly languages and C codes, are available. So here we are using a single model to describe all of the entire flow of the design. So once we have a model, we can perform many analysis on this model. That is more easily when compared to the some other source codes. Here we are using data flow graph as well as the control flow graph. In data flow graph, we don't have any conditions. That means that at presently we are performing what kind of operation we are performing based on the input. So there is no more conditions to be available in the data flow graph. So here some of the expressions are to be available, but we can able to change change or modification. Here we can able to modify some of the expression for our convenience. So this is what in data flow graph we can able to change the data for avoiding some of the confusions or easily performing the operations. So in high level language, a code segment with no conditionals are previously with only one entries and one exit pointer. Here W is equal to A plus B addition operation, and X here we are considering subtraction. So these are all some addition expressions are given, but here we are having two X value. For one is performing addition and another one is performing subtraction. So we can able to change here. So for avoiding the confusion of the x operation, so we are changing x1 and x2. That's what we have to assign and modify some of in program we can able to modify some expressions. So before we are able to draw the flow graph, we need to modify it slightly. If we need, depends upon the need, we can able to modify the flow diagram or expressions, etc. So after modifying the expression, we want to draw the flow diagram. So here we are, x1 and x2 are having different labels, so we can easily able to understand what kind of operation is we are performing. See here, these are the values, a, b, c, d and e are the values, and in rectangular box we have the values what we are giving the input, as well as the results we are getting in the rectangular box. And another, the operations performing are, we are using circular notation. So after modification, we want to draw the flow diagram. In control flow graph, we are introducing some conditionals. So the data flow graph has an element adding construct to describe the control. So here we are using diamond structure for control operation. So in control data flow graph, we have two nodes. One is decision node and another one is data flow nodes. In decision nodes, in the sense the operators, what kind of operation we are going to perform, and data flow nodes are the given data and resultant data. So the operators, decision nodes are in a circular position, circular notation, and the remaining expressions are to be same. For conditional codes, we are giving conditions in diamonds, and data as well as the process, what are all the process we are processing, here we are representing in a rectangular box. So if else conditions we are using as a conditional operator. So for data flow graph as well as the conditional data flow graph. Data flow graph, we are we don't have any conditionals. In conditional flow graph, we have a conditions with decision node as well as the data node. Okay, any queries? That's all about the components of embedded programming as well as the models of the program. Thank you.